Hey, welcome back guys. In today's video, I'm going to go over the cap rate and explain you what cap rate means and what it does for you as a real estate investor. A cap rate is a percentage that estimates the rate of return for income generated property. It's used by investor, lenders, appraisers to value properties. How to calculate cap rate? Well, you take the property's value and you divide it by net operating income, which is NOI, by its market value, and then you get the result as a percentage. Net operating income, NOI, is a key metric used to determine the profitability of a real estate property or estate property. It's calculated by subtracting the property operating expense from its total income. That's real simple, simple as that. You just take the profit and you divide by the value of the property and you get the cap rate. So once you calculate cap rate, what does it tell you? A cap rate is a risk management for commercial and rental properties. It's an assessment of the yield of the property for over 1 year. It's used to estimate the potential rate of return for an investment property. It's also used to determine the exit rate or terminal capitalization rate for a property when it's sold. For example, if you have a property that's worth, or you bought it for $100,000 and your NOI is $10,000, once you track all expenses, then its cap rate, you take the 10,000 divide by 100,000 and the cap rate is 10%. That's pretty good, 10% return on your investment. With today's high interest rate, it's a bit harder to get into rental or to get started into rental business, commercial business. But there are still deals out there. If you can find good cap rate deals like distressed properties or go for a niche market, you can still find really good cap rate. Make sure you verify your NOI, and then you can, once you verify your NOI and you figure out your cap rate, anything above 6%, it's a pretty good deal, but recommend trying to aim for 7 and 10% above. But other than that, guys, next slide or next section of the video, I'm going to show you this cap rate calculator that I created to help you determine your cap rate. It also has an appraisal cap rate in it, built into it. And also it can do yearly, because most cap rate you determine by year. And with this cap rate calculator, you can determine it by second year, third year, and up to a max of your loan. So that's something to help you determine also your investment, if it's the right thing to do, the right investment. And that, guys, enjoy the next section of the video. Until next time, take care. Bye now. Alright guys, so we're looking at the cap rate calculator here, and what this does is it's going to show you your cap rate once you enter all your numbers in. It's really easy to use, really simple. As you can see on the right here, it has all the charts and everything, and for property 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, it's already entered, so you can see what's generated on your right. So we're going to use property 1 as our input for an example here. So let's purchase price of the property is $200,000. So we're going to input $200,000 in here. And once you input the $200,000, you put the taxes and fees. So the taxes usually are about 1%, right? If you have to pay taxes, usually, of course, when you purchase a home or an investment property, you're going to work with the seller to actually, if they're going to pay the taxes, and usually it's paid up to the date you purchase the property, right? So now once you enter that, you can do the closing costs. Let's say 2% is the average, right? About 2%. And the realtor fee, if you have a realtor fee, it usually run to, right, 3 to 6%, right? Or 2% sometimes. So let's put 2.75% here. And you can see the calculator calculates all that for you. So rehab costs, so $200,000 now, you can tell by purchasing a home around here in Indiana, $200,000 now, you're going to have to maybe fix it up a little bit. Let's say $3,000, right? And then you got any other costs or fees you want to put in there, like advertising fees or wherever you can put in there. Let's put $500, okay? So now let's jump down to the monthly mortgage. Well, I'm sorry. I'm going ahead here. So that your total investment will be $215,000. You can see that. So all that, including your taxes, your closing costs, your realty fees, and rehab, and other fees, the total to be $215,000. And see the sum here. Now let's go to your down payment. Usually investment, you need to do put down about 20% or higher, right? So let's put down 20%, so that will put your down payment as $40,000, and your result finance requirement will be $175,000, right? Now, annual interest rate. Here is where you put your annual interest rate. It's hovering around about 7% right now, right? So you put in 7%. And then term loan, let's do a 30-year loan. So as you can see here, your mortgage repayment is $1,164, right? And now let's jump down to the monthly income. Once you get the monthly income, we're expecting to get a let's say $1,700 a month in income. And if you have anything else that you charge your tenant or client, you can put there as other income. And your vacancy, usually it's about 10%, 5%, but let's put 5%, right? Because 10% is usually a month's worth. So we got somebody moving in, and now it takes, a couple weeks to get somebody back in. But with the market right now, you can actually turn it around in like a week. So we're just being safe here, 5%. Now let's go down here, maintenance and repair. We can put 3%, just, 3%, that's about $600. That's about right? 3% a year on maintenance fees. This is where if you're managing your own properties, you save a lot of money. But let's put 10%. You can see 10% eats into your profit quite a bit, because if you're paying property management fee, you're paying 10%. Real estate taxes is about 1.1% around here. And you got your insurance. Let's say insurance $50 a month. Your strata fees and other expensive. You got your HOA dues, right? So let's put like $25 per month for strata fees. And then you got your mortgage here. It calculates your total expense. And then you go down to your cash flow. And you see in blue here, cash flow, monthly repayment. It's from earlier, it's pulled from that information from box C24, right? And then you got your total income, your total expense, and your cash flow. It's really low, $121. So you can see you're not making much profit off of that with your rental income. But I'm going to show you something here. If you take the property management and you do it yourself, you can see it jumps up. Your cash flow jumps up to $291, right? That gives you a little bit more COC return here. You go down to the next one, cash on cash return for mortgage. Yearly cash flow and investment equity, and your COC return is 8.74%. That's not bad. That's you usually when you want a cap rate of 6-7% above. But again, you put 10% here, it drops down to 3.64%. So you see this calculator, it really helps you determine what makes sense, what's your investment number makes sense, right? Now let's go down to, this is what's cool about this calculator. It's cap rate cash flow calculator. Does is once you get down here, you can enter your year, because what cap rate does, it calculates just one year, and so you're getting just the first year prediction result. So what I did was I added where you can actually determine it by year. So let's say first year you're not getting much cap rate, right? But let's enter 2 years. As you see, 2 years, it jumps up. Everything jumps up. Your monthly interest rate payment, monthly principal payment changes too. Because what happens is usually cap rate is only calculated by that year. So you're not going to get real numbers. So let's say in any investment, when you invest first couple of years, you're not going to see a lot of return. But as you hold on to it and you maintain it, you will get that snowball effect. So let's jump up to 5 years here. As you can see, 5 years, your annual return jumps up to almost 10%, right? And your monthly too. And then you go down further down here. The cool thing is you can see your appreciation. Depreciation is compounded yearly. So if you enter first year, let's say average house price has stabilized recently, last year or two, right? So let's do 2%. In some areas still going up 3 to 5, 10%. But around here it's about 2%, and it was kind of steady last year. So let's put 2%. Again, this appreciation section, it compound. So your first year, as you can see, I enter 1 year. Your appreciation of loan, so that's the amount of your loan. You're gaining $3,400 just from borrowed money, and your down payment you're gaining $835. So total appreciation. Let me move this over so you guys can see. So your total appreciation is $4,300, and expected accrued appreciation for year is $4,036. So your annual return on down payment is 21%. That's really good, really good. So as you can see, it compounds. You enter 2 years, it goes up 31%. 3 years, and then let's say 5 years. But you see the power of compounding. In finance, cash flow, compound, and leverage are the three most powerful finance tools. But when you're using appreciation, it's compounds really quick, as you can see. So let's do 15-year half of the loan. You see you got 186%. If you held onto the property that long, 15 years, it goes up that long. Of course, you still have the maintenance fee, you still have the taxes and all that stuff, and that is calculated with that, of course. And of course, those can rise over years. So your number, yes, it's not exact, but it's give you an estimate on the appraisal, at least the appraisal, and everything else is somewhat prediction, right? Estimate. Now let's jump down here, and you can see the let me move this over here. Oops. And then you see the annual return with appreciation, ROI with appreciation is 21% in 15 years. That's great. That's awesome. But first year is 29% with appreciation, right? So if you don't have any appreciation, if it's stable, you get the 8%, the annual return of 8%, just the regular 8%. Now, and of course, when you invest, from my experience, you want cash flow. You want to have positive cash flow because you don't want to go negative. And your appreciation, you can always look at as a bonus. And then you go sell the property, you go do a full, a 1031 exchange. That's when you gain most out of it. So if you hold on to it and the appreciation goes up in value, and you can do a 1031 to some larger scale. It's called scaling, right? Now let's jump down here to the monthly expense. And the monthly expense, you can just take a property and compare it to other properties, so you know which, if you have more than, let's say you're looking at 3 or 4 different commercial property in real estate, you can take that and you compare which property you see on here on your right. It shows which property expense and also yearly accrued appreciations over here on your right too. That's a nice thing about it. It shows you all the property on how it accrue and everything. Of course, here you can see. Let me change it here because I have 5 and 5, so they're alike. But it's neat is it actually has an amortization calculator built into it, but you can't see it because it's hidden. But that's how it's able to calculate your appreciation and your monthly year principal pay down. So it gives you a more precise number. But yeah, it's a cool, very, very nice feature, cool calculator to have to determine your investment strategy. So I highly recommend it. And if you have any questions and comments, feel free to leave it down below in the comment section.